So when I use boxing gloves to do bag work or pad work for boxing or Muay Thai, I use these. These are like regular adult wraps for obvious reasons, because I'm an adult and because they are 120 cm long. That's very long. That's long enough to be able to reasonably protect your knuckles, your wrists, and your thumbs. The other thing I use are these. These are gel pads with a little thing that goes on your knuckle. The reason for this is that this is good protection for people who have a decent amount of strength and power, because sometimes just wrapping your hands isn't enough to protect your wrists or your hand from breaking, so you need to have a gel pad. The two ways that I do my hand wraps for boxing and Muay Thai, you can use this. You can incorporate this, the use of this. And I'm going to show you how to do it. The first way we're going to do it is a simple way. We're going to put the loop, every hand wrap has a loop, on your thumb. Okay, so let me just get that there. So put the loop on your thumb, and then you're going to go, this is the back of my hand, you're going to go this way, and then you're going to cross, you're going to wrap around your wrist one time. Okay, and then when you go back around, you're going to go behind the thumb, like so. If you can see, it's like there. You're going to go behind the thumb, around the thumb, and then if I turn around the wrist, you're going to do it 3 times. So again, this way, then behind the thumb, around the thumb, then around the wrist, thumb, around the wrist. Now, this is the point where you can put your gel pad if you need it. For this case, I'm probably just not going to show you without it. So from there, you go back around to where your thumb is, like that, thumbs up, and then you bring it towards your pinky knuckle, right here. Makes a crossing, and then you're going to go straight down and let it come out on the other side. This is the front of this is the palm, and you're going to make it come out by where your index finger knuckle is, right there. From there, you're going to make it go back to this side. So that's an X. So maybe you want to do it like a couple times. Or maybe you want to do it a second time around. So from where you are to the pinky knuckle, straight down to go out where your index finger knuckle is, then do the X. And then you go back through the wrist, go out where your thumb is. And this, but instead of going to your pinky knuckle, you're going to put your wrap in between your pinky and your ring finger, like so. And then you're going to make sure that this goes through here and out where your index finger knuckle is, like that. Same thing. Everything has to go out through the index finger knuckle. Does this, and then around the wrist again, and then you're going to go between the middle and the ring finger, the middle and the ring finger, yeah, that's right. And then you go like this, and then you fix it. Just make sure it doesn't like twist or anything like that, because you don't want to like wrap this whole thing up, then it got twisted somewhere, and then the Velcro is facing the other way. You don't want that. So then you put it between your ring and your middle finger, and then you still make it come out the knuckle of your index finger. Make sure that it's not folded at all. And then it goes around again, and then around the knuckle, back out by the thumb, and now you're going to put it in between these 2 fingers, like so. Okay, like so. And then it goes out again. So you're wrapping it around your index finger. So it goes out the index finger knuckle. Again, make sure that you don't fold it. So it's just like straight like this. Here you have reasonably good. There's not much left, so we just use this to for wrist protection. Then you have to check this. If this is too thick, you're not gonna be able to you're not going to be able to close it. This is fine, it's not too thick, so you might want to fold it. Now, if your hand wrap is too long, you after you go through in between every finger, if your hand wrap still feels a little long, you can always do some more X's. So you're going through the index finger, right? Index finger, your index finger knuckle, and then back to the other side of the thumb, to the other side of the wrist, around the wrist and around the pinky. You can do a couple more, maybe 2 more, and then it goes out through here. You can do a couple more if there's still a lot of wrap left. But in my case, there isn't. So I'm just going to use the rest of it to have to tighten up the wrist. So there's a lot of wrist, a lot of thumb, and a lot of knuckle. So that's one way. The second way of wrapping is something that my old Muay Thai coach taught me how to do, because he learned it in Thailand. It's the old-fashioned way, where you would take the loop, instead of looping it around, you're putting the loop in your finger on your thumb. You're gonna hold it down, and then you're going to circle your knuckle 1, 2, 3 times. I think that's a third time already. Then you're gonna take it out, and then you're gonna put it on top, and then you're gonna wrap around. The problem with that is because of my hand size, I can never get around to. I cannot use this much wrap for a knuckle pad, so I use this. Again, you can also put this on the other way of wrapping, but this is the reason why I do my hands this way, and I have a knuckle pad, because 1, it's thicker, and 2, I can now use my entire wrap to wrap my hand. If I did a knuckle pad using the wrap itself, there isn't enough wrap to even finish going around my fingers, to be honest. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hold the loop with my thumb. Then I'm going to you can also do it without. You can also do it this way without, but you can hold the loop with your thumb and then go around and then proceed from there. Or you can use the pad, to protect your hand. So I'm going to do it this way. So you go once, twice should be enough, and then you're going to go out where your index finger is. And where you do that, you go straight down to the backside of your wrist. You go around your wrist 1 time. Okay, like so. And then you're gonna go, so when you go around your wrist 1 time, you go around your wrist behind the thumb, around the thumb, through the wrist, again, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then from there, you start with the fingers. Just tighten it up there. Then you go between the fingers, like so. Starting with the pinky and the ring finger in between. Then you fold it, you go here to where your index finger knuckle is. Then you go around again. And then you go through this one, the middle and the pinky finger, the middle and the ring finger. And then you go around to where the index finger knuckle is. Then around this area, around the wrist, and then from here you go in between the middle and the index finger. Then you wrap it around your index finger, and you go out where the index finger knuckle is, and then you go around the wrist. Now there's still a little bit of thing left. There's a little bit left, so you can finish the X. So from here, you go back around to where the pinky finger knuckle is, right there, and then go down, and then you make 1 X, because that's all I have, and that's all I have enough for. That's all the wrap I have for. And see, I told you have to make sure it doesn't twist because look, it's the wrong way around. But I think you get the drift here. You make one X. Again, if you still have a lot of wrap, you can do it again. Go through this way, around this way, out this way, and around the wrist. You can do it as many times as you want, but you have to make sure that you have enough so that you can go around the wrist at least one more time when you are doing it. But yep, it must have twisted somewhere because it's upside down. But that's how you do it. So when I'm sparring MMA, which isn't very often, and then I use MMA gloves, I tend to use kids wraps. Kids wraps are a lot shorter and a little bit more narrow compared to adult wraps. The reason for this is because adult wraps are too bulky when I use them. And so there's a lot of wrapping around my hand to the point where if I wear adult wraps, then my gloves get too tight, or in some cases I might not even be able to fit my glove or hand wrapped properly into my MMA glove. So I have to use smaller wraps. So that's how so what I do is I would use kids wraps. So because the kids wraps are shorter, we have to focus on using it for the most important protection, which is the knuckles and the wrist. So this is how I do it. So you take the loop of your little wrap, your kids wrap. You put your thumb in the loop, and then you tightly, but make sure your hands are like wide open like that, so that it's not too tight. You go around your wrist 3 times, 2, 3, and then from there, you go out where your thumb is, like where the loop is, this way, cross to your pinky knuckle, right there. Okay, then you go back and you go straight down from pinky to index finger, and you come out where your index finger knuckle is. You will take it and you will bring it to the other side of your hand, the back hand. Okay, you do that one time. Because it's very short, you may only do it one time. So you go back to your pinky knuckle, and then you go straight back like this, out of where index finger knuckle is. But the difference here now is that we're going to go, instead of finishing it the X, from going from here to the other side, we're going to go straight down to the pinky to wrap our knuckle once or twice. I think twice. So 1 and then 2. So we wrapped it. And then we come out of where our index finger knuckle is, and so we're going to finish the X. Then we make one more X, so from where your thumb is to your pinky knuckle, out this way, and then out this way to your index finger knuckle, and then finish the X. And then the rest is just wrapping around your wrist again to add extra wrist protection. And then you close it up. That is your wrapping with tiny wraps. You fold this in a little bit so that you can close it properly. Because if it's too thick, you might not be able to close your fist. So you wrap it. You fold it in a little bit so that you can close it. And then now I have an MMA glove here. When you put it in, it'll fit properly. Fit perfectly. So there, it fits perfectly. We don't separate the fingers with the hand wraps because it's okay, because the MMA gloves will separate your fingers. So when you put it in like this, you wear it. But it also offer a lot of protection for your wrist and for your knuckles. So not to mention that there's wrist protection on the glove as well. And there you go. It fits perfectly for MMA.